Hello, this is the Cobra RM46SPC, which is an 18-inch self-propelled rotary mower. And this is how it arrives in a big strong box like this. So what we're going to do is just to cut the tape, open the box up, take everything out, and I'll show you how to get it ready for mowing your lawns. Well, I've unpacked the mower now, got it out of the box, taken off all the protective film that's put in it and the protective coverings while it's in transit. So here we have the basic mower itself. As I said, it's an 18-inch rotary mower. It's got a rear roller on it, so you get a lovely stripe on your lawn, and it's powered by this 135cc Cobra engine. So all we've got to do with that is to put the handlebars up, and I'll show you how to fix those into position. And then we've got the grass collection bag here, which goes on the back. Again, I'll show you how to install that. We've got the two manuals, one for the mower itself, one for the engine for maintenance and that type of thing, spark plug spanner and cable clip. So everything you need. The only thing you've got to supply is a 13mm spanner, and that's to put the handlebars in position. So fixing the handlebars is very easy. I'm just going to lift this out of the way for a minute. Just be careful because of the cables. We don't want to trap any cables. And we can see that this is where they fix on these two sort of mount brackets at the side. So I've already got the nuts and bolts in, so I'm just going to take those off beforehand, and then we can fit the handlebars to it. So they're only finger tight, so take those off and just keep them ready to put back on in a minute. So I'm taking off the nut. There's a spring washer and a flat washer, and the bolt has a square end to it, and it fits into this square hole, so when you put it back in, it locks it firmly into position. So they're all off ready, so we can now offer these into position. So I'm just going to lift it up, and it will just unfold like that, making sure again that we don't trap any cables. And what I'm going to do is bend it back the other way, if I can, like that. And what I've got to do also is to take off these protective caps on the end. Again, these are put on for transit like that. Just give them a pull off. It's just to stop this sharp edge scratching the mower while it's in transit. And then I'm going to fit these on the outside like that. So it's just a case of getting them into position. And you can do it on your own, but if you've got somebody to help you, it just makes life that little bit easier. So we just need to line them all up there with the holes, and then just push the bolt through, making sure that the square bit locks into position. And then we can then put the order back with the flat washer first, and then we put on the split washer, and then we just put the nut on, just finger tight to start with, and we get all four into position, and then we can tighten those up with the spanner. So just put the bottom one in there, give it a bit of a wiggle, like that. And again, the flat washer, just have to pull it together, split washer, and then we just put the nut on so that everything is just finger tight at this stage, and then do the same on this side here. So just push that into place. You just have to spring them a little bit into position like that, and then flat washer, spring washer, and the nut, and final bolt at the bottom. Need to just hold that a little bit. And once we've got them on finger tight, we can then get the spanner and just tighten everything up so that it holds the handlebars securely onto this red frame. And then the same on this side, nice and tight, and the final one there, just give that a tweak up like that. So that's everything tight there, nothing's going to vibrate loose because of the spring washer. So that's that part of the handlebar, and the next bit is very simple. It's just a case of folding this up. Now again, we need to make sure that we're not trapping any cables when we do this, so just make sure that everything is released like that. That's fine. We've already got these red handles here, these quick release handles that are adjusted to the right tension, so we can just clip those back like that. That holds that all in place. So we've now got the handlebars in position, and then what we need to do, we've got these cables here, 2 cables this side, so we've got 2 cable clips. So I'm just going to feed the cables into those, and they just simply clip over the handlebar like that, and then one on this side, just clip it over, and that just holds the cables nice and tidy, and they're not going to be flapping around and get trapped. The other thing we can do, we've got the recoil start here, which is down on the engine, but there is a little bracket halfway up the handle just to make it easier for starting. So if we just lift in this red lever here, it takes the compression off the engine, and we can then pull it out and just loop that round into that hook like that, and that's ready for when we do start it outside. The other thing we've got to do is to get the grass box ready. So it's partly put together, but we've just got to finish clipping it on to this wire frame here. So it's just a case of just use your thumb and just loosen that off a little bit. It just makes it a little bit easier to clip on because the plastic is quite rigid, and we're going to clip that on to this black frame here. So it's just a case of getting your thumb in there, pulling that open, hooking it over, and letting it click into position like that. And then likewise with this side clip, just push that through, and that one will also clip into position there, and this one here, just to hold it all nice and firm. And you'll notice on this is where it hooks on. There are 2 little plastic caps here. You can just get your thumb in there, just pull those off. There again, just to protect this in transit so that there are no sharp edges. And then what we do with the box is simply fit it in position when we're mowing. So we lift the flap at the back, and you'll notice there are 2 springs here. This flap is spring loaded there and there. Hook it on top of those like that so it sits nice and firmly, and then release the flap, and that holds it in place. This box has also got a grass indicator on it. This flaps when the engine's running and the air is blowing through and the grass is blowing in. When it stops flapping, it means that the grass box is full and it's time to empty it. So that's a really good indicator. So what we need to do is take it outside, get some petrol and oil in it. Now if you've assembled it on a bench like this, you're probably going to need some help to lift it off because it is quite a heavy mower. What I need to do now is get the oil in and the petrol. So the oil goes in here. This is the oil filler cap, the yellow cap. It says oil on it, so you can't go wrong. And it's also got the dipstick attached there. So something you should do on a regular basis, check the oil when you're mowing every time you get it out, in theory. So this is the oil that is supplied with the mower. So this is the 4-stroke engine oil, and this contains 600 millilitres or 0.6 of a litre, and this engine needs that amount. So the whole bottle is going to go in 600 millilitres. So it's just a case of pouring this in nice and slowly down through the filler cap there. There we go, so that's the oil in, 600 millilitres. And what you would normally do, just to double check, is just allow that to settle for a few minutes and then put the dipstick back in, and always screw the dipstick fully in, and then take it out again, and we can just check that the oil level is right. And we know it will be because we put the right amount in, but it's just best to be safe than sorry. And there it is. I can see that the oil now is on the little hatched bit at the bottom of the dipstick, which is the indicator to say it's correct. So we can put that back in. So that's the oil in. Next we need to put in some petrol, and the petrol that this mower needs is unleaded, and the fuel cap is around this side here. So always use fresh petrol. Don't use any old stale petrol that you've had lying around in a can for months and months. It's not good for the engine, doesn't run smoothly. So nice fresh petrol, and we're just going to put some into the tank there. There we go. So that's it, fueled up now and ready to start. So we'll put it on the lawn and I'll show you how it starts. Before we start the engine, just want to point out the height of cut, and that's this lever here. It's got 6 different height adjustments. When you get it, it will be on the lowest. So before starting the engine at any time, it's always a good idea just to raise the height of cut so that when you do start it, there's less stress on the engine and it's not going to snarl the grass up underneath and make it difficult. So get some clearance there, and that lifts the roller up on the wheels, so it all lifts up in one go. The controls that you need to start it are all at the top here. So we've got this red handle here, this is the brake engine lever. So we need to pull that in to be able to start the engine, and this is also how we stop it. So when we want to stop the engine, we just release it and everything stops. And when the engine is running, this black lever at the back we can push in, and that self-propels the roller and moves the mower forward. And the final thing is here, this is the choke, which we need to use when the engine is cold, as this one is. This is a brand new engine, so 2 positions. We pull it back to put the choke on, which blocks the airwave a little bit and gives a richer mixture, and then when the engine fires up, we can just gradually ease that down just for a short while until the engine's running, and then push it down to the bottom for mowing mode. So really simple. So we need the choke back, I need to pull back the red lever and then pull on the recoil. Now this is a brand new engine. Takes a few pulls sometimes just to get the fuel through from the carburettor when it's new, so you've just got to go with it until it starts. So here we go, let's give it a pull. Second time, good. And there you go, running really smoothly. We put the choke off, but then to stop it we just release this lever. So there you have it. So great mower for the garden this is. Everything you need to know about it is in the manual that you get with it. So happy mowing with your Cobra.
Remember to register your Cobra online at www.cobragarden.co.uk. Always have your Cobra serviced regularly. Check the website for your nearest dealer.